Welcome back to the class, everyone. Today we are in our second match of 5v5 for this season. We didn't do so hot last match. We got caught up in a bad strategy, at least as far as ground goes. Our execution was okay, but our opponent ended up being able to clear us more efficiently when we could only got stuck in the half board. So today's opponent, we're going back a little bit to opponents that just have a little bit more than us. He has 150 more relic levels. He's got Ray, of course, and we don't. And actually, the spreadsheet won't show it in here, but the dude has really good datacrons in a lot of them. We do have him beaten speed mods. That is kind of nice. At least at the higher end, we have him beat by about 20 in the 25s and about, I think, 50 in the plus 20s. Oh, no, not quite that much. 20 is there as well. But yeah, he's got relic levels on us. We've got mods on him. He's got Galactic Legend Ray. So a moderately fair battle on paper. I guess he does have more Omicron as well, so there's another slight advantage for him. But let's come back a little bit to the actual match, show you guys what we're doing. Our opponent actually is already attacking. I don't know if he's going to finish attacking before we start. I'm guessing not. He's kind of taking his time. But what I'm trying to do, and I talked about this a lot in my last video, I'm trying to do in this match with my defense. I don't know if it's going to work. Our opponent has a lot of really good datacrons, like a ton of level 9s, and he has the stats down perfectly. I'll show just real quickly his Malgus, and I guess, yeah, this is his defense. A lot of GLs, a lot of R9 data, or level 9 datacrons, but he's got the Malgus one with the reduced cooldowns, which is what you want. He has the massive amount of damage from defense, and then he has 20% or 270% armor that is being transferred into offense. That team is going to hit super hard. But that being said, yeah, we tried to stack our defense a little bit more in the top. So like, these are my best teams that I have down. I got through Gas and Malgus, all right. And then I got junk in the back, honestly. I have Phasma, Mon Mothma, and Dash, all my teams that are too low in relics to really have datacrons. And then up top, we've got SLKR, Starkiller, JTR, and then BAM as well. And then our fleet is obviously in the back, and it is loaded with a lot of stuff. But yeah, his defense is nasty. I'm already fairly certain that I can only take 2 walls, so I'm really hoping he doesn't full clear us, and he just might. But yeah, this is so catastrophic. Level 9 BAM, level 9 CLS, level 9 JML. This is gonna be rough. I think I have an idea to be able to get through this, but I'm really certain we can't get through both of these, so I'm hoping he stalls out somewhere. Because then, yeah, he's got relics, or level 6 here, level 9, level 9, level 9, and these aren't bad datacrons either. He's got the fast ult with the Ray, the extra turn meter, so she's gonna get ult within like 15 seconds. It's gonna be rough, guys, but let's go ahead and get to it. Let's see what we can learn. All right, here we go. So we're going to be starting off with taking our Jedi Master Kenobi versus their Jedi Master Luke. Really don't have any other solution for this. They do have the 25% datacron, so nothing I have can go before it, and it'll probably just slaughter me. So we go ahead and take in our JMK. I don't really think I need him anywhere else, and at this point in the battle, I think that I only can clear top wall. So I'm just going to clear top, get more banners that way, and then we'll go from there. So we started this off. It goes pretty well. We're able to go just barely first, I believe, and we hold our ult until we need to cleanse the stun. Then we're able to come in, obviously, with the Stunacron. That's very helpful. You'll notice in the beginning I didn't actually aim at one of the Jedi for the stun, but I wanted to clear the repost off of JMLs. I think that was more important. We held our Annihilate. We did not blow it on Jedi Master Luke. We made sure we used it on Jolie. He's a much bigger problem, especially because he can't actually annihilate Jedi Master Luke. Now it's just Jedi Master Luke, and there's nothing he can do. He has no allies, so they can't call him in for reposts. We have a ton of foresight, and his attacks can't go through it. I mean, he's gonna do nothing. But I'm very much a fan of proccing ult at 50% with JMK versus JML. I think it gets you a lot farther. I think we just ult for fun here. I could probably have pressed auto once it was just Jedi Master Luke. He's not gonna do much. That battle went pretty well. Now we have to do Jedi Master Luke versus Jedi Master Kenobi. So a little bit of the reverse, and he is faster, which is annoying. But we did this battle recently, and it's gone pretty well. So we're going to go ahead and immediately increase cooldowns on JMK, actually. Because Cat, I want her to blow her Annihilate, and this JMK's level 9 datacron is the really fast ult. So you're going to see he's going to get ult literally his second turn. R9 GK also does make things really hard. You'll see here, can't get him down immediately, even with, I think, 3 hits underneath protection using repost. So that's not super great. And they go right after Jolie. So every time the AI gets its this right, typically they'll throw a few hits around. Granted, I don't have like Jedi Knight Revan or Grandma Studio to steal hits, so Jolie bites it, and that's really bad because we haven't even killed GK. We don't have ults, and Cat's doing just fine. So this really just looks like game over. Like we're not getting through this, and then we can't get through JMK. We can't get through anything else. It's really a bummer. And then things started to change. We got through GK, and they lost the high ground. And as soon as they lost the high ground, they're stuck behind Jedi Master Luke, and we just get the second breath where we come in and we just immediately knock out their Cat. We just start one-shotting them too. Like we've got a ton of damage now because we've been able to ult, as well as my level 9 for Jedi Master Luke is the one that adds like 100% damage or something like that. I think it's more than that actually from Jedi Lessons. So Cam just crit there at the end for 80k against the Galactic Legend on a basic. So that was really good. Now Lord Vader needs to kill something of Galactic Legend tier or around there. And this is probably the only team he could really kill. And I've just got to say, like, this is, I guess we're going to kind of spoil things here. Lord Vader beating the tar out of a level 9 Datacron Ray without Maul, that's again, I don't want to spoil it, but it's yeah, I just totally did. Yeah, so we come in here with like Tarkin and whatnot. We do have the whatchamacallit Datacron, the cooldown increase. I think we have 100% health steal, which is good. Like I think that definitely is important. But I mean, hers is level 9, and she has the TM level 7, which I guess doesn't do much versus Lord Vader. But we open the battle with Darth Vader. I really think I misplayed Darth Vader entirely. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with him. But we tried to control the battle by consistently fracturing and ability blocking Finn, because his cleanse I think is just not a death sentence, but it's going to make this way harder than it needs to be. So we kept keeping them from cleansing, and then we were able to go into Merciless Massacre eventually and just one-shot 2 characters. And now it's going to be pretty easy to take them down. So once we get rid of Finn, there isn't a huge risk of them being able to kill us. Like you'll see here how just fantastically Lord Vader tanks whirlwinds and ults. It is stupid good character, guys. So yeah, we're down to the 1v1 now, and Rey's ults are only doing about 50% damage, and from here we're gonna stack way more mastery than she is, because she's only able to stack mastery when we gain turn meter, and we don't, and whereas we're able to stack mastery when we keep getting our ults. So we're going in here, we're getting them back and forth, and I'm a little bit worried about the time at risk. The enemy Rey does have health steal as well, and she also has tenacity on her Datacron, so it's really hard to land the healing immunity, and she keeps getting back up. So I think at a certain point here, I just click auto. I'm like, all right, Lord Vader, I need you to stack damage super quickly. So yeah, we keep getting our ults, we keep hitting her with stuff, we get the ability block. And then eventually here, we just basic her for what I think is 1,000,000 damage between the 3 hits. Not quite there. We're getting there. We're getting her down. We don't, like I said, we barely land the healing immunity. She keeps going back up. We eventually just keep getting her down, and I think it's right about here. I think we crit her for, was 1,000,000 damage, 100,000? I don't know, some big number. We have to kill Malgus now. He has a level 9 Datacron that has the cooldown increase, and for that reason, we have to take in 3 Sith buddies. Typically, C and Watt can take down pretty much any Malgus team on their own, but what the level 9 Datacron does is it allows Malgus to constantly increase your cooldowns. So what can happen, and I've seen this happen before, is you'll get your ult, C will get his ult, you'll lose your speed down because, you know, they rip it off or whatever, and then C can never zap everyone and insta-kill the whole team because Malgus just keeps increasing his cooldowns. And in GC with the Omicrons, Malgus has enough speed to keep up with C after C hits his ultimate. So we went in, we put the tank tech on C just so that we would make sure we weren't ability blocked at the wrong time. There are, I think, 3 ability blocks on this team. That being said, I really wanted to take as many Sith allies as possible just so we wouldn't be alone once we got ult, and this comes down very close. We still had speed up from before when we hit ult, so that allowed us to go back to back and kill Malgus, but that was kind of sketchy. We did try to purposely hit Malgus so he would counter and get us closer to ult. I should mention that. And then once you get it down here to just Malik or whoever, make sure to leave Malik alone, or make sure to not kill the other character, because Malik actually, or C actually can struggle against Malik if you can't just zap him. And without the leak, you can't do that. Adrad team, this is funny. This is hilarious, in fact. They go first with the 25% cron and do all their things, and then we rip off their 500,000 buffs, and they just die. This is, man, Bad Batch are cool. Like I've always liked Bad Batch ever since we did our badly batch series, or badly geared batch series. Yeah, that one. I've always enjoyed them ever since then. But gosh, have they kept up in the meta? Like all these new teams, they just, I mean, you guys saw this. After they got their whole little barrage there in the beginning, they just didn't get a turn. So now we have to beat a level 9 Datacron. Bam. We take in Bounty Hunter because I'm like, okay, if we just kill you, like if we just zap you right off the get-go, then your Datacron means more or less nothing. I mean, the stats are still kind of a pain in the butt. Actually, a very large pain in the butt. There's a fair amount of offense up there. But if I get rid of you, this team is going to be way easier to manage with other teams. So we do exactly that. We get everything going. We zap Bam out of there. And then I'm just like, okay, we could probably, I think the only one of these characters that I can naturally kill is going to be Bo-Katan. I don't know if you guys saw in the beginning. Aura's gear 11, Mando's gear 12, Grief is R1. They're not very strong, so I don't have the damage to take down Kui without being able to crit him. So we're just going to have to annihilate him when we get the chance. But unfortunately, Nest, and this has happened, I think, twice now, actually. This is the third time. Nest just ruins my day. We kill Bam, but she has enough damage and she has enough mechanics that slowed us down, and the whole being able to ignore taunt thing really sucks because even when we had our whatchamacallit doing stuff, our boss taunting, she was able to get around it. So that's not great here. And we kill Bam, and now we don't have to deal with his ever-ending damage immunity because he had the cooldown decreased Datacron. But I mean, this is probably still going to take a pretty good team to take down. Queel and IG, Nest, it's a pretty good combo, and the Datacron is still active. So now Grievous has to beat Starkiller, and Grievous loves to beat Starkiller, but he is so wildly inconsistent about it. The match is never the same. It is always so weird. They don't get shock or whatever, or tenacity down on B2, so he gets to do some fun things. B1 died first, which I don't think has ever happened for me, and it's really not ideal. Like, you want B1 to be constantly assisting and hitting the target locks. And we're trying to do that right now, constantly hit the target locks. I would like to go after Mara Jade first, and then B2 dies, so, and then Nute dies once. So I mean, this is just a weird battle. This is a weird battle. So we go after we try to kill whoever's easiest to kill in the very beginning, which does work. We get rid of Palp, so that's nice. So even if we have to clean this up, not only do they not have the Starkiller unique, but they also don't have what's his face. They don't have EP. So now it's just the two of them. I'm trying to think of, like, all right, how do we get around this? Like, I don't want to kill Ben and buff Mara Jades, and then I'm like, okay, maybe this will stun, and then it just kills her. So you're weird, Grievous. I love you, man, but you're so weird with what your results. So we have this dash team to be, and there's Vandar here, but there's no L3, so this is pretty easy. We do make sure to not use Icebreaker the very first turn. You have to save that versus dash because he will daze you, but he won't do it on the first turn. Don't know why, but that's how it works. So we end up doing really well here. We wait till he dazes, we cleanse it, and now, I mean, the name of the game is just build up offense until we kill Vandor. We get really close, but they do, despite not having L3, they do still have some cleanses, so that's kind of annoying. I don't believe our Wampa has a Datacron here, so we're just kind of going for it. But yeah, so we do try to take down Vander when we can. He eventually dies to Dots, which works. Still trying to hold the Icebreaker specifically for when, whatchamacallit, we do try to kill Captain Han here just so that he doesn't revive Vandor and then we get, stuck, and that works. We have to use Qui-Gon Jinn versus CLS now because I use Grievous elsewhere. And this is like, I knew this was going to go poorly. I just wanted to kill the Chewbacca's. That was my goal. If we one-shot it, cool. Probably not going to happen without Cam. Yeah, so we just basic Chewbacca first because this team, the CLS team, moves fast. So I figured Qui-Gon was going to eat it almost immediately. So we came in here, now we used our AoE. Didn't crit Chewbacca, so that was really bad. We do eventually get the base gun, so he's dead. So I mean, I got what I came for here. I wanted to kill the Chewbacca so that something else could clean this up, and that's exactly what happened. I just go ahead and take an Iden next. I mean, this is a little sketchy. I mean, R8 Han probably just one-shot someone, but he shot Stormtrooper, so that was cool of him. And then, yeah, it takes a little while to get him down. I'm like, okay, can we stun 3PO? We can't. That's annoying. Like, all right, CLS, you can counter and, like, give us turn meter, I guess. And then yeah, for anyone who's wondered why we didn't take our Iden in first, our Iden is gear 11, gear 12. So with the data crying out for CLS, I didn't trust it. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. I feel like they just shot someone first who would have just been the end of us. And then Iden's debuffs were irresistible on her stun, so CLS eventually goes down. Got to clean up the Nest team now, or rather the Band team, the X-BAM team, I don't know. So we use Jedi Knight Revan. I do undersize it just because my 5th was Plo, and we didn't really do this for banners, but it was more so, I don't want to take in a character that's going to steal Savior away from Jedi Knight Revan, or someone more important. Like, I want to be able to keep that. So we go ahead and get rid of Bo first, just because I don't want her to keep clearing buffs, and I figured Quill would be a little bit harder to get through. And then we, like, start to, like, make headway on IG, which is weird, because I know we're supposed to kill Quill first, because it's kind of fool's gold. I mean, there's always, you know, an exception to the rule, but it's kind of fool's gold to go after IG. It's just, even though you can't crit Quill, it's so much easier to get through him first. So that's what we do. We get rid of we got rid of Bo obviously first, and then we just tried to work down Quill. Was pretty easy, and now IG pretty much just falls apart, and Nest isn't going to do a lot against us. With Bo, or what, sorry, not Bo, with Bastila, we gain a ton of potency, so Nest loses her max health and dies. Next up is Imperial Troopers versus the Iden. They put in TIE Fighter pilot there, so this is going to be very easy. We actually left range out because I didn't want him to randomly assist and give them turn meter. So we got rid of the 2 main characters right there in the beginning. Got rid of Stark here. Really not a lot to say about this. I mean, Storm's gonna, like, take a turn and steal my turn meter, which is or not steal my turn meter, but steal my my banners. But overall, not that big of a deal. Yep, there you go. I didn't even take a turn. It was a counter. But 64 there, I'll take it. And then we use Traya versus Geos, which I haven't done this in a hot minute, but okay. I mean, fine. We was getting here just to kind of guarantee things. My trio is gear 12, and Spy is R5 in the enemy team. So this isn't, we could just get whacked into the next week if we're not careful here. So, I mean, this goes exactly how you think it was. Gideon just makes this fight so easy. Between the initial protection starting, allowing Traya to go first, decreasing the enemy damage and crit chance, it just makes this so much more consistent. I mean, Traya really didn't have that many issues with this to begin with. So we isolated the Brute, we killed GBA, you know, went Hell by Hatred with Scion, annihilated a Sun Fact that did not need to be annihilated, and called it a day. So we did really well on ground. Like, we had to 2-shot a few things, but our opponent had to add to 2-shot way more. So this is very much in our favor. We take our classic counter versus their Empire, which is going to be Malevolence. This counter has never given me issues. I really like going against the Tarkin variants too, because they come in and they cleanse and they dispel everything, which is great because I haven't put out my buffs or my debuffs yet. So everything lines up perfectly. We kill Bomber. Really not an issue. We get through their Vader. And I'm going to bring in Spy now. And I'm like, okay, let's kill the prototype here, because I don't have to deal with what's his face dodging 1,600 times. And that's what happens. 1 dodge, 2 dodge. Can we get 3? Do we get 3 dodges? Not that one. So yeah, we got a few dodges there. That was annoying. Made the team live longer than it did. I don't think it really ended up mattering. We were able to kill them before they got to their ult, so we didn't get the shameful 62 banners. Took in my burner for Executor. I need to stop using Raddus for this, actually. My Raddus is good enough that she can actually be a cleanup fleet now. I need to start using Mace. He's going to get promoted. So now we've taken our Akbar, and here comes the fun. So we immediately go ahead and use the defense penetration just because we don't have access to Xanadu Blood, so there's really no point. Now, we do have access to Xanadu Blood. Don't get an assist. And I'm thinking about this here. I'm like, if we use the AoE, the issue with that is if we crit the allies, Xanadu Blood goes into stealth, and if Millennium Falcon didn't assist, he's not going to die, and we're probably just toast. So I was debating which one of these moves to use. I really, now I think this is just a really big loose situation. Millennium Falcon didn't assist on the Home 1 call to assist or the Y-Wing. So 3 assist calls right in a row didn't go our way, and that's pretty much game. We're not able to get anything going. He has a 50% chance to assist, and he just, even with buff immunity now, like, we might have been able to recover in some way here and clean it up, but even now, Millennium Falcon just doesn't assist ever. I have no idea. I have no idea. I think there are 6 total assists that we got in the very beginning, and we didn't get 1. So I think we were 1 out of 7 there or something like that. It was really, really bad. Like we don't even kill Xanadu here. So we did super great on ground, even though our opponent really had an advantage, especially in Datacrons, but also in Relics and his Galactic Legends, is yada yada yada. But as far as fleets go, we really just kind of get hosed. So we take our banners here in the finalizer versus Raddus fight. For anyone who's wondering why we didn't use Executor versus Raddus versus Executor, is because finalizer versus Executor, too many fleets. It's because we don't have our Echelon fully upgraded. He's still 6 stars, and I don't have distance, so we couldn't have just done the normal Rebel. So we're still gonna have to stick with the 2-shot here for a minute until I get that figured out. That'll probably happen in the next 3 months or so. But yeah, so I mean, this goes well. They do daze our silencer, which is annoying. That really slows everything down here. But it's fine. I still like this initial starting lineup. I don't think it was wise to leave the tank off the starting lineup, because then you can just nuke someone right away. The tank is the one who adds a lot of RNG for your opponent, or in this case, us, because we weren't able. I mean, we were just able to kill someone immediately. We didn't have to worry about them healing or whatever. I don't know. It worked out. And then we pretty much just keep going here, trying to kill the tank, get him down. Not quite enough damage, then we eventually get it. I don't know what Outrider's doing here. I guess it's a filler. I don't know really what Outrider does yet. I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But should have finished the battle there. But yeah, so the really not a whole lot going on for the rest of this fleet. I mean, we're just gonna eventually nuke them and it'll be fine. Calling silencer there, and we're good. And as you can see, as I showed prematurely, we lost on fleets. We had him beat in ground. I think we dropped 2 battles, and I think he dropped 4 total. And I mean, even coming into fleets, I could see that we were up 30 banners. If we would have just been able to take this down with something, we would have won. But this is a good match, though. There were a lot of fights in here, like Lord Vader versus Rey was cool. JML beating JMK without Jolie, killing like level 9 DC Malgus. Like there were a lot of really good fights in this match, so I did genuinely enjoy it. If I had a better winning streak right now, I would probably be a little bit more satisfied with the match. But I've just been losing so much. But it's alright, guys. Thank you for watching. Appreciate all of you. Remember to like and subscribe, and as always, stay awesome.